Well, good evening and welcome. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Oxford, on the show as Bridgeman and the one and only Southside. Evening, gentlemen.
Evening, Ox. Good to be back on again with the legend Bridgeman. And good evening to everyone listening in this evening.
Oh, can I say a big good evening to you guys? Seriously, Oxford and the techie guys in the background, and silver-tongued Southside partner tonight. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, particularly Rangers fans on here, on Rangers Radio, good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
I'm going to hold my bets on that one. Let's see if he's silver-tongued or not. I'll hold my bets on that. How are you, Bridge? Thanks for storing in the night, mate. Much appreciated.
When? The night? No bother.
Aye. And your good self, Southside. Good to hear from you, mate.
Aye, Bridge. We were seat subs tonight, mate. But it's good to be on. We were seat subs, but it's good to be on.
Okay, well, I'm used to being like that. It's a perennial thing in this house.
when Bridge retired at football, mate, they gave him an orange.
I tell you.
He had a knife to his sock, so they didn't have to give him a knife. Anyway, we'll get a big game tomorrow. We'll get a big game tomorrow. Looking forward to it. We have to start righting a few wrongs. Southside.
Aye, we've certainly got to improve for Tuesday night, Ox. And Saturday's coming at the right time, 4 days later. So, massive game for us. It's in the league. I'm probably expecting a few changes, Ox, if I'm honest. I think there'll be 1 or 2 changes. But it's a massive game, and it's imperative that we get the 3 points and try and put in a bit of a performance, to be honest, in my eyes anyway.
Yeah. Obviously, Bridge, the most important thing in a league game is the 3 points, but we need to see some improvement in the performance, if we're being honest.
Yeah, I think hopefully the shock the guys must have felt over the last couple of days, that must be hopefully eased off on them. Now they understand just what they need to do. I'm quite sure the manager and the coaches will be telling them. They need to, obviously, they're at Ibrox, they need to put on a performance as well as get the 3 points. They need to put on a performance and make up to the fans for the other night. That's the truth.
All right, I got a letter for Old Davy's lawyer today. It came through. Yeah, so I was apologising. He's colourblind. He doesn't know the difference between green and red, you know.
I'll put that to bed then.
Aye. Okay, I said, right, we're going to hear from Giovanni. He had an interview today, and then we'll get the phone lines open and we'll have a talk about tomorrow's match.
Yeah, brilliant, mate.
So if everybody's all right, we'll hear from our manager, Giovanni van Bronckhorst.
Gio, firstly, give me your reflections on the Union game from Tuesday night, having had the chance to watch it back.
Well, of course, first emotion I had was disappointing after the game. When I saw the game back and we analyzed the game as well with the players, we all felt the same, disappointed in our performance. And the desire and the hunger to turn it around, and that starts tomorrow against Kilmarnock.
Yeah, as you say, it's a quick turnaround. All focus on Kilmarnock. Decent start to the season. Good draw against Dundee United for them last weekend. What have you made of them and the threat that they will pose tomorrow?
Yeah, well, we have to analyse them. Well, of course, the game against Dundee United last week had a draw. It's a team who come from a championship with a coach who likes to play, good football. Derek McInnes, I think he's doing a lovely job at Kilmarnock. I know him personally. I play with him, so it's always nice to see your ex-teammates getting to management as well. So I'm really looking forward to meeting Derek again on Saturday, and we prepared the players well for this game. And our improving point needs to be when we're on the ball, to improve what we didn't do well on Tuesday. We have to improve against Kilmarnock with our positions, with our speed of play, with our movements, the runs, creating chances. Those are the areas we have to improve tomorrow.
Yeah, as you mentioned, it will be great for you to see Derek McInnes again and find memories from you playing together. I think 99 Cup final, the game against PSV where he played an important role on that side for you guys.
Yeah, he was a great player, midfield player, very comfortable on the ball, and you always see a little bit the style of play of the manager into the teams he coached, and for him it's he took Kilmarnock from the Championship back to the Premier League, so it was a great year for him, and of course they start the league reasonable well with a draw against Dundee United, so looking good to see him back, and Kilmarnock is a team who can make us really difficult, like all the teams in Scotland can. So I'm confident when we have we reach our levels and a standard I expect from my players, then we should be fine.
Yeah, from a Rangers perspective, is this an occasion that all the players should be relishing, because first home competitive game of the new season will be the first time the new signings have met the fans in a competitive game at Ibrox as well. This should be an exciting one for you to get up for.
Well, every game at home is excitement. If it's a friendly, Europe, Cup games, of course the league games as well. And we switched now from European campaign to domestic league. We started the league well with a win last week against Livingston, and we want to continue to get the 3 points every game we play. And tomorrow that's another opportunity. Again in Ibrox, who will be filled and supporting us with everything they can. So we have to make it a positive game, and with 3 points and a positive feeling to work towards Tuesday.
How is your squad looking ahead tomorrow in terms of injuries?
Yeah, we're looking good. I think the biggest change will be that Alfredo will be in the squad. So he's been training really hard the last weeks with the team, and we think he's ready to be in the squad for tomorrow, and hopefully, we can play some minutes as well.
Okay. Big news there at the end. I don't think we're all shocked at that, but never mentioned Kent. I noticed Southside.
No, he didn't, mate. I think the biggest news was mentioning Alfie probably coming into the squad and looking to give him some minutes. I think the rest of it, what he said, was a given about running about, movement, desire and heart and fight and that. I think that should have been a given for the start. So the good news is Alfie, but I still think it's a big ask to ask him to come in and try and play a lot longer on the Tuesday night. But it'll be good to see him try and come back and get some minutes in his legs. I know he's saying he's been training, but 6 months is a long time without match practice.
If it's the right thing to do and we're bringing him back right, but if we're trying to rush him back to get him for Tuesday, it could backfire, Bridge.
Yeah, we know that's happened before a couple of times. Need to watch him. Obviously, the manager and him and the coaches have got to know how long they reckon he can last. And if they bring him on as a sub, personally, I'd start him. I'm that daft. I would start him and see how long he lasts, and then whip him off. But they'll go and they'll do the last 30 minutes probably, and see how he gets on. But that's entirely up to him. He's got to be honest with the coaches and the manager, and they've got to be honest with him. If they see the last 10 minutes, then that's the way it'll be. And I'm quite happy with it. I'll go with what the coach says. The coach has got to make these players play as good as they can. And I dare say he's going to start with a similar team that he started with last week. And it was already the European game Tuesday. That's why I think.
I get where you're coming from. Some people, Southside, I'm not saying this, but some people say that maybe a bit of desperation.
Well, we've put ourselves in this predicament, Ox. That's the thing. And realistically, we shouldn't have to rush Alfie back to try and get us to go through in this tie-in Tuesday night. We should have the personnel to get us through that tie-in Tuesday night. But it's good to get him back in some shape or form, but it'll depend on his minutes. There's other players out there, Ox, in that squad that's got more minutes, and I've heard people say before there's other players in the squad that got game time that have got less minutes. So I think it'd be good just to see him come back. But as in Tuesday night, I wouldn't see him start Bridge on Tuesday night. I wouldn't see him start certainly on Saturday. But it would probably give the place a lift in that, and if he was probably needed or whatever, he could maybe come on and give you 20 minutes on Tuesday night. I don't know, but I just think Saturday it'll be good to see him on the bench anyway, with the likelihood that he's probably going to come on at some point, Ox.
So we'll see where it goes. So he's going to get game time. We're assuming he's fit, Bridge. Yeah, we're assuming he's fit.
Well, that's a big question. That's a $64 million question. That one, you know, is he fit? Is he? And obviously, the wee snippets you're hearing and seeing on the sort of social media are saying he's ready to go. He's looking smashing and so on and so forth. We don't know. It's a burning question, you know, actually, burning, because all these fans are going to be desperate to see him coming on and be able to try and carry us through again like he's done before. And we're looking for the old Alfie as quickly as possible.
Last time I had that burning question, I was away over the weekend with Southside and Stevie.
Until the fire brigade came. You were off skiing, boy.
It wasn't that kind of burning. Right, where are we? Aye, okay. Well, it was all right with you two gentlemen. We'll get the phone lines opened and see what people think. The news that Alfie's back. So let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Aye, okay. Aye, it gives us a lift. But does it matter how good a striker you are, Southside, if you're not getting any service?
Well, I felt sorry. Felt sorry for the big man, probably in the last two games. I mean, it's hard enough to try and come in and make a name for yourself, and you want to go on the score sheet. And he got one in the pre-season friendly, and they'd one chopped off. I think he works hard. He's not an Alfredo Morelos. I've heard wee snippets during the week and people talking about him, and Alfie does this, Alfie does that. Alfie might do this and that, but Kolach obviously doesn't. He's obviously sits up at the edge of the 18-yard box. He makes runs across the box. He's looking for service, Ox. That's what he needs, and he's certainly lacked that. We've lacked that. That whole team's lacked to give him that service. So I think it's too early to judge him. I feel sorry for him a wee bit, but I believe if we start playing as a team in a unit and we get a settled team on the park, I think once the chances start coming into the box, you'll see a better Kolach.
Your thoughts, Bridge?
Look, I'm desperate to see them tomorrow, and Kolach is one of the guys I'm going to be looking at, to be honest. I don't know. The guy, he kind of flatters a wee bit. You know, when he looks really good and you're thinking, well, he's a large, powerful boy, but not the tallest of them, but he still looks after himself and he seems to stroke through a game. But he's had a couple of chances that have been sadly missed, you know. So I don't know. I'd like to keep my powder dry on him. And let's hope he has a really good game tomorrow and gets a couple of goals.
I must have missed the chances the last couple of games.
No, he's had a couple of chances and missed them, you know. So we're under no illusions, you know. I thought he was very unlucky for the header against Livingston. That was a lovely header into the corner, and I didn't think he was offside. I really didn't.
What did you prefer, Bridge? Somebody come up against you like Alfie, or somebody who played on your shoulder? I'd
rather face an Alfie.
I get that. They're the ones
people on your shoulder.
The football players like myself are too clever for you, aren't you?
That's a loaded question, huh?
I get it, mate. I think most centre-halves would like somebody to come up to them, wouldn't they?
We prefer, personally speaking, and I dare say there's an awful lot of centre-halves, they prefer to be able to see in front of them. They see what's coming. When they're defending, they can see the whole. When they're on the pitch, they can see the whole park. When you've got somebody standing on your shoulder, you're obviously not going to be watching him all the time, otherwise you're not going to see the game, you know. So it's quite difficult to try and sort of split your concentration that way. I prefer somebody I know he's going to be 5 yards away from me and he's going to charge into me and batter me or try to, and it'll be a big battle. And when you get somebody that stands on the shoulder and he's got a good bit of pace in, it's murder pose for a centre-half, murder pose.
Remember the shouts outside when you played, people try to peel off? Watch him, he's cheating. They're the same guy you try and snap your leg into 2 minutes before.
Everybody's looking at Cholak because they all want him to come short and that. We're playing with 2 wingers this time as well, or we're meant to be playing with 2 wingers. And for me, he wants the ball played quick, down the wings, whipped in the box. So for me, Cholak is the perfect guy that I think who we've chosen, who we bought to play. We knew Alfie wasn't going to be fit probably at the start, and we've chosen him to be a striker. He's a Bridge. I don't see where he's really missed a chance. I just think he took the header well at Livingston.
Absolutely, yeah.
Apart from that, he's worked hard. He's chased down. He's probably done a bit more running than I thought he would, but he's worked hard. It's just that he's not had any great chances for him because we haven't created any. And that's just...
He put one past the post at the weekend. So, under no illusions.
Must have missed that, Bridge.
Missed
that.
It sounds like it, yeah. But look, the guy's going to... The chances are, shall we say, few and far between for him. And he needs to get some chances, and it's up to the team to create it. Sometimes it's a bit where you are, as you know. You get players like Jermaine Defoe and Kenny Miller, who whenever they were in the box, they nearly always like a magnet. Ali McCoy, the ball was a magnet to them. They come and find them, you know. And not all the time, but a lot of the times, you know. It's just sometimes just.
I'm going to put Kenny Miller in the same class as Defoe and McCoy.
No, I'm talking just in the box. Kenny Miller scored a lot of goals in the box.
I know, but nowhere in the same numbers as they do.
No, not in the same class of football player. No. Their position in the box is very good, and I think we need that guy to do the same thing. If he's got it, they'll find them. That's the way I think.
But to make that happen, Bridge, we need to get the ball in the box, huh?
Exactly. We need the players to look for them, find them. Look, it's really difficult. I'm under no illusions because you're going to have another 7 or 8 teams in this league are going to play like they did, like Livingston did against us, and just jam pack the box. So any centre forward looking for that wee chance, they need to be really lucky, really, really lucky, and really quick to get the ball when it comes, because it's really tight. These defenders are really good at blocking, really good at it.
There wasn't a chance because he never got his head to it, but the cross with Tillemans and Tuesday night Southside, that was maybe the only, you know, yeah, and that's split second stuff, innit? It's just
the defender sort of in between them and us slightly. I still think the type of goal he scored against Tottenham will be the type of goals he'll score. Boys have been about the box, quite similar probably to Roof. I think he will score the goals. I think he seems to. He's made a lot of good runs and we've not picked him out and we've not seen it. And he played with a different probably 3 on Tuesday night that he played with on the week before. So he's still to settle in. There's players still to find their feet, and 1 or 2 have still to start to give a performance. So until that happens, I just don't think you can judge a guy at all, and he certainly lacked the service.
Aye. Would it be fair to say that the jury's still out on the boy? Would that be fair? Would you agree with that, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Aye.
We can't judge him.
The fans like to look at him. The way I see it, and the fans like to look at him, and they're just waiting for him to come alive. things happening about him.
Aye, okay. Well, so we think he's still a certainty to start tomorrow, do we both?
100% for me.
Absolutely. 100%.
Would Alfie definitely be on the bench then for the 2 years?
He'd be on the bench if obviously the manager said that he expects him to be on the bench, so aye.
Bridge?
Yeah, agreed. 100%, yeah.
Okay. It'll be interesting to see how often they're on the park at the same time. Well, I'm just thinking that we'll got ourselves under a wee bit of pressure. Even the Morris game is you feel it's not as straightforward as it should be, Southside, eh?
No, but no Derek McInnes teams. Most of the time they miss the midfield and go long. Well, a big laugh right up there, the Mora. So he'll be in to rough up whoever we're playing at centre back. I think Jordan Jones went there and all, didn't he? So there'll be two of them coming to maybe try and prove a point. But I just think, but he's got to pick the right team. We've got to have 100% effort, endeavour, and right for the off, right on it. We need to, I know we done all right on Tuesday for 10 minutes and that and passed the ball about, but we need to be passing the ball forward on Saturday and looking to create chances. So I think we need to get off on the front foot straight away. Ox. I think it's imperative, and I'm hoping that he'll pick a slightly attack-minded team. You know?
I think for their own confidence sake, they've got to start on the front foot. They've got to be able to hold the ball and show themselves, the whole team, show themselves that they can actually play football. Because I think Tuesday night was a bit of a shock for them. They need to get themselves pulled back into shape again. And the best way to do that, first 10, 15 minutes, whatever it be, keep the ball, don't give the ball away, and prove to yourself that you can play football and go up the park. And Ibrox will be rolling them on. For sure.
I don't think it's imperative we keep the ball, Bridge. Because I think
in the first 5 minutes.
No, I think that's part of the problem. We get into a situation where we spend that much time trying to keep the ball, that Goalson and that end up with too much of the ball. We have to play at a tempo that gets it to our attacking players and ultimately ends up in chances for Cholak, Southside.
100%. Bridge, I mean, see that passing across the back now, it's all right for a while, Bridge, but the balls have got to...
You can't go on like that. You've got to keep in the team.
You've got to get it into your midfield. Midfield's then got to get it released quick or play in triangles and get yourself up the park. We didn't have a player that would really carry the ball forward and want to attack and get us up the park Tuesday night. We're at Ibrox. We've got to be on the front foot. We're playing Kilmarnock, and all respect to them, they'll be set up well, but we should be beating Kilmarnock, and we've got a new team. We're still trying to get players to gel. There's maybe one or two that could come out the team at the weekend, possibly, and stick players in that at least know the system and have played before. One or two probably been out of favour, but for me, I might be inclined to fling one in. I don't think Ryan Kent would be fit up, so, but for me, it's about attacking in Saturday, Bridge, and we need players running after the ball, and I think we need a performance to a point, because the last two have been disappointing, and I want the 3 points on Saturday, but I'd like a bit of a performance, because we need something to look forward to Tuesday as well, and say, well, we've come off the back, a good result and a decent performance, rather than come back and say we've just fell over the line on Saturday and go to 3 points.
Yeah, both of those are right. What I was meaning was that we don't give the ball away, right, on stupid, crazy passes, and we end up inviting the teams to come and attack us. I just mean get the ball.
Both Jack and Kamara were guilty of being possession away with square passes and Tuesday.
Terrible stuff.
You know, a square pass can be murder when everybody runs past you. That's meant to, yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing to see when the first one got lost. All of a sudden, there was 5 players running right through the middle, right on top of the defence before they knew it. You know, and we see it now. So we see our games anyway. You know.
All right, Southside, I'm going to put you in the spot early. I'm going to ask you to pick your teammate.
Oh, this will be good.
It's early, all right, is it? No.
want to see your teammate, because I want to see if the midfield's going to be a wee bit more adventurous. Well,
do you know, I have thought about it, right? I still think we're playing Kilmarnock. They're going to flood the midfield, and I don't think we can go in and play like a 4-1-4-1. I would like to have, but I was looking at the 4-2-3-1 sort of idea. I would bring, I've said it twice, I've been wrong, I'm going for third time lucky. I think I'd bring back McGregor, and I'd bring him back for the sole reason that I'd be playing him, in my opinion, on Tuesday night as well. But so my team for tomorrow would be McGregor, Tav, Golson, Ben Davis, Yilmaz. In the midfield, I would put John Lundstrom and James Sands. On the left-hand side, because I don't think Ryan Kent will be fit, because he didn't mention him. I'm hoping he's fit for Tuesday. I'd put Sakala. Inside him, Tom Lawrence. On the right-hand side, Scott Wright. And up front, Cholak.
So that's a 4-2-3-1, yeah?
Aye, I take Tillman out. I did think if I took Sands out, I could put Lawrence and Tillman in the same team and keep the same team. But, Ox, you agree, James Sands has got plenty of dig about him. He's got a tackle. He can pass the ball.
Yes.
He can he's neat and tidy, right? So he's not been gave a chance in middle of that park. And I think Ryan Jack, for me, is toiling, and Kamara isn't doing the job going forward that I want him to do. And you could put him in there if you're playing with Lundstrom, but for me, I want to see James Sands try and get an established place in the Rangers team, and I want to see him in midfield, because that's what he actually is. He's not a right back and he's not a centre back, and this is his chance to try and get a place in the team, in my opinion.
Do you think he's got the forward outlook?
Aye, I would like to think he has. I mean, he got to sail up the park on Tuesday night, had a shot, and it was actually with his left foot. Aye, it was straight at the goalkeeper for about 20 odd yards outside the box. If he's not going to be a forward player, then surely Lundstrom can go forward, Docs, and be that player that goes and links then, and he sits.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see why no.
What would your team be if Kent's fit then? Just pretty much the same, and you would take out Sakala for Kent?
I would take out Sakala for Kent, aye. I know he's miles off it with Gio. I know he's miles off it because he played against Queen's Park and didn't get any parts, and he's not had any. But surely the wee man's worth a shot out in the left. He's done his best work out in the left. He's got no a bad goal return. He had assists. He knows how we play. And I think wide left, I think letting him get a run at Kilmarnock on Saturday, then it wouldn't be a bad option. But obviously people think you should maybe stick somebody else out there. But that was just my thinking, Knox.
I'll take this to Bridge after a good sell-side side. Is the wee man getting a raw deal?
Look, he's like a tap into. He's hot and cold. But if you look at his contributions, he scored. He knows where the goal is. If he gets in at the edge of that box, he's more likely to cut inside and have a shot. He's no shy to shoot. He is a striker. He played up front for Zambia in a 2 with a boy who plays at Leicester. So he's no scared to shoot, Ox. Aye, sometimes you look at him and you think what you're doing next and all that, but he's busy, he's honest, he's hard working, and he scores goals. He showed that he can score goals in the games that he's played in. So I would give him a chance on the left just because he does more. I think he plays better off the left than he ever did on the right.
No, I think that's been proven. Any thoughts, Bridge?
No, I 100% agree with the Southside said the last part. He's a smashing wee player, and everybody likes him. I don't know any Rangers fans that don't like him. Some of them might be wary of some of the shall we say, the inept choices he makes when he's on the park. But he tries to cut in, but falls over the ball, or the ball dribbles away from him. The truth is, he's still good, and as how Southside said, if he gets into the box, he can draw a man in, and he's got a bit of pace to have a shot. He's no scared to have a shot. So I'm quite happy if he gets his game. And if he gets his game, I wish him luck. And let's do it. Because there's a lot of people now. We've brought in a lot of players that he might feel, I'm not going to get near this team because some of these players might look very good or seem very good. But last Tuesday night, I don't think we proved that. So he'd have been as well on the park as some of the guys. That's the truth.
All right, okay. All right, I get it. So Colin, give us a phone in 0141 356 1972. Phone in, speak to the receptionist, and we will phone you back. So it's that simple. It's easy. Colin, join us, give your thoughts. Is Southside, how far off the mark is he? Is the sands of time running out for him?
Or you want to build sandcastles with a man with knowledge? I think he deserves a chance, Ox. I mean, we've not seen him in the middle of the park.
In his right position, is that the point?
Aye, in his right position, aye. Mm-hmm. I mean, everybody says, when you asked the question the other day, is if it comes $4.5 million, is he worth it? Everybody says no, right? Because we've seen him as a bit part player, and he's made the odd wee mistake of that. But here, he flew into that tackle when they two were burning in goal when that ball came across. They collided with the post. So he did, if you remember, on Tuesday night.
Mm-hmm.
I just think if you give him a chance in that position beside Lundstrom, Jack's toiling and Kamara, you can take it or leave it with him if you want to have him in the team. So who else you want to play in there if you're playing a two? People say Stephen Davis, right? Fair play, I can respect your opinion, but no for me. You know, he's only 21, 22, whatever, Sands. You've got to give him a chance and full energy. He's got a bit of bite about him, and you just hope that he'll go a bit forward. And if no, surely Lundstrom can be the one that can step forward out of the two. That's all I'm saying.
All right, mate. All right. I'm not judging these. Others might, but I'm not.
Not the first time I've been judged.
Or the two years, it'd be a competition between you two. Right, anyway.
Well, the shocking thing to say about judging someone.
No saying anything, he spoke to his lawyer.
Oh dear. Even some of them judged you.
I think yours knew the judge.
I'm saying that. I'm telling you. I'm saying none. My wife will kill me.
Right, okay, right. Southside's gave his thoughts on the team, but let's hear the Port report on how the Kilmarnock are going to set up.
Hello and welcome to Port's Report. Today we'll discuss Derek McInnes' Kilmarnock team. Rangers will hope to boost their confidence on Saturday afternoon when they play Killie at Ibrox in the second round of fixtures. Kilmarnock opened their account with a 1-1 draw against Dundee United after being promoted for the Championship, which was a great achievement. Their match against Dundee United was not a vintage performance, although they managed to get an injury time winner from their centre back, Ash Taylor. Rangers have been the dominant force, winning 36, drawing 5 and losing 6. Killie have failed to find the net in the last 4 games against Rangers. Killie's threats. Kyle Lafferty remains to be a proven goal scorer in the Premier League, and he's probably the biggest danger in their forward line. Ollie Shaw will also get as close as it possibly can to assist him, although will drop in deep, join up with that 5 midfield. Derek McInnes will play a 3-5-2 formation, with the width coming from Ryan Olibolu and Kerr McElroy. Both are flying wing backs and very, very quick. Alan Power and Paul Worth will add steel to the midfield, so Rangers will have to be up for the battle. As Kilmarnock goes, we all know Derek McInnes' teams are like. They will play the double block, they will sit in to try and frustrate Rangers, and they'll try and hit in the counter-attack with the wing backs. They'll often go long to Kyle Lafferty and try and get players in and around them to cause Rangers some danger. After the previous 2 performances, Rangers have to show some strength, some fight and some will to win. We have to match these Killie team, who will be dogged, just like the last match, all over the park, and we have to win our personal battles. And that's the end of Port's report.
All right. I was going to say thanks for that, Port, but he's not here. He wants more money for doing that, Brad. What do you think?
No, rubbish. No, I think he's saying the same type of things Southside or any of the other guys would say that, look, you know you're going to the park there, everybody's got to do their bit, and their bit means you've got to win your own battle. and make sure you're all right. If you can come away winning your battle and everybody does the same thing, then we'll win the game. That's what we need. Everything he said was wise. Very eloquently put by the report bearer. Very eloquently put.
Aye, he done well. He's a nice wee feature. He's given us thoughts on the opposition. Southside, sometimes we care not to look at them, do we?
Nah, we don't really bother, really. Normally I just concentrate about the Rangers, mate. But aye, it's a good wee insight for everybody listening in. The old Port report. So far he's been spot on anyway.
He was his first one on Tuesday night, wasn't he?
Aye, and I heard through the grapevine he's had a couple of requests for signed 40s, so must be doing all right.
Aye, and we'll get them sent to the Blind Society.
Aye.
Signed photographs, I love it. The cool dude.
Poor Port. Right, come on, let's hear from you. 0141 356 1972. Phone in and speak to the receptionist and we will sort you out for there. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, please subscribe or like to help us in our ratings. Right, okay. Where are we? Right, okay. Southside, you went for McGregor, I get it. I was actually surprised, if I'm being honest. I wasn't surprised that he didn't start at Livingston. We had that debate. I was actually surprised that he didn't start on Tuesday night.
Aye. I'll say something to you, Ox, right? And you can say to Bridge, do you think that when John McLaughlin was playing in the cup games and that, I know there's pressure playing for Glasgow Rangers, right? But see now, if I know Gio's not committed, do you think the number one spot for him now is maybe put more pressure on him? Because we've seen him flap at a couple of close spots and that, whereas he was impeccable before it. You know, it was one of the things we all spoke about. I thought he should have got to that one on Tuesday night, and I know it took a slight nick, but it didn't take a big, massive deflection. Maybe we're just used to McGregor being that shot stopper because I think he saves it. But then again, he might not have, but I just thought he would have. So I just think McGregor, for me, I think should come back in. That's just my own thoughts on it, mate.
So you want me to ask Bridge if you think the pressure of being
has
affected his performances slightly?
Possibly, I'm just asking.
Bridge, man?
Yes, pal. I think that I said it before. I don't think McLaughlin, based on the very first friendly we had, I don't think McLaughlin's going to be what we saw McLaughlin. He wasn't as good in my eyes as he had been last season. And obviously the reason for that was the team was playing very, very well outfield-wise. And the goalkeeper could swap them about any time. And obviously the only difference we could find last season was that McGregor was a far better shot stopper, but McLaughlin could no problem in the box play a wee bit of football, which McGregor couldn't. He would distribute it a wee bit better. But this season, it doesn't look that's the case. I thought he was against Livingston. I thought he sold himself. He was standing virtually on the penalty spot or thereabouts, and the ball was chipped to his side. And if he'd have been a wee bit more cautious, because he's got three defenders there, if he's a bit more cautious, he stays a wee bit close to his leg. I'm not saying he would have got it. It was a good goal. But that to me just shows that's what happened. And it was the same the other night. McGregor McLaughlin did get his hand to that ball, but I think McGregor would have probably put that past the post or over the bar or something like that. That's the way I think. I think McGregor is a stick-on as the Rangers' number one goalkeeper now. Stick-on.
Interesting. So you think McGregor will come back in Southside and play tomorrow and Tuesday?
If he comes in tomorrow, then I think he starts on Tuesday. I mean, don't get me wrong, John McLaughlin had a few good saves after that. I don't deny that fact. I just had a thought and I wondered now if he's get the realisation that he's been getting the most games and is he now number one. Just thought normally we relied on him with cross balls. And I know it's early season and stuff, but when I look at this two centre backs now, we don't look commanding at centre back winning headers out of our box. we've not seen it so far. So for me, John McLaughlin, then if he's the number one, has to be coming out and taking a lot more of the cross that's coming in, because we've looked suspect, and you've seen it against Livingston getting a free header after their goal and all. I know it's maybe one the goalkeeper will not come out for because it's swinging in, but if our defenders are the heading balls out that box, then we really need him to be coming and collecting some of it. But I would play Alan McGregor, and just my opinion, Ox, tomorrow and Tuesday.
All right, would that make him the number one then? Is that what you're saying, Southside?
Well, has there anything changed, really?
No, I'm just asking you.
Well, I mean, as like he finished number one last season, he signed. I did expect him not to re-sign, but I mean, surely he's not going to sit there for now till the cup game against Queen of the South. He might, but for me, I think if you've got any aspirations of playing McGregor on Tuesday night and Gio's thinking about it, then he's certainly got to play him tomorrow, Ox.
Fair comment. Is Ben Davis the guy you're looking for to come in and start heading the balls away, Southside? And they'll go to Bridge.
Well, 100%. I'd like to think. I mean, Golston's no bad, but he's not that commanding. So I'd like to think he'll be the guy that will be like a Davy Weir for us back in the day when he ever come in that box. He just headed it out, mate. That's what I'm looking for. I hope he's quite commanding and dominating in there, because we look a wee bit suspect now between they two and what we've seen in playing it like Sands in for a bit of time, and also Suter. So we've not looked too impressive, Bridge, in centre back, I don't think, sort of aerial wise.
No, you're absolutely right. And look, this last season, it didn't matter what we did, because we had players with exuberance. And Bassey could pull you out, could drag the players up the park, the whole team. He could do these things, and the rest of them joined in. Golson sort of picked out maybe 60-70% of headers that he was challenged with, and you had Balogun, Helander, and others jumping in there at the left side of it, and they did the same. So the whole team was playing well. The whole team aren't settled at all at the moment, and Golson, it feels he's on his own, and he's not got nobody at centre half with him. I mean that sincerely. No offence to anyone. He's got nobody at centre half. This boy Ben Davis may be the answer. I don't know, but most assuredly that's the most key position in our club as centre half. And if we don't get that right, the rest of the team will struggle with it, seriously. And I'm not being funny. Golson's a tremendous player, but he has to be able to wander out to that right side and make these crossfield passes. If he's going to have to stick in the centre, he'll get lost.
All right, talking about people who never get lost, we're joined by Andy for Leeds. Steve and Andrew.
I never get lost. Evening, guys.
How you doing, Andrew?
Not bad. I'm all right, I know. Yeah, I'm coming round a wee bit now. Like, you know, you've got to get over it, haven't you? Like, you know what I mean? I just hope that we come out there with, you know, the right attitude. Everybody sticks to their man, the position, and go out there and want to prove to our fans, obviously, but they need to prove something to themselves after a performance like that. So you're looking for a good, solid display. You don't want to be going in off a Towsy game, you know, 2-1 or something like that, because the pressure's on all the time then, isn't it? So, you know, we want to go in with a good win there and all that. So if we can do that, you know, and then we move forward, like, you know, but and we use Southside. I would have the big shagger back in goals. No danger about that for me. I think if you look all right, for what we saw the Sunderland game, I think John was a bit dodgy there. That crossbar was like a combination for the goal we lost there. He wasn't very clever with his feet against Blackpool and West Ham. He was sent to sugar there a couple of weeks ago. He's looked a bit dodgy since he's got into the team, whereas, you know, he looked more consistent when he was not in the team, if you get what I mean. And as you say, the pressure on top of him, you know, the fact that he's there now, it might be just playing on his mind a bit. He could get out of that pretty quickly if he's going to be number one. Well, he had to do, wouldn't he? But that's how I see it. You know, that's just my little take there.
Aye,
I don't know if I made any sense right enough, but
I could ask you that question every night you come on, Andy, but that's a different story altogether.
I know. Well, I get used to it.
I get where you're coming from, mate. I like John McLaughlin. I think he's been a great deputy for Alan McGregor. He's come in up to the Scottish Cup final, the semi-final, the final games he played. He done okay, and he looked as if he was. Let's be honest. He looked as if he was better with the ball at his feet than Alan, and better at coming and taking crosses. But since the start of this season, he has had a few goals where he's not been completely. It's not been rickets, but you feel that he could have done a bit better, if I'm being honest, Andy. That's all I'm saying. Yeah,
I think he should have saved the first goal right enough. But I mean, it's easy for us to sit here and say that, and the whole team was bad, and look, it's still very raw, everybody at the moment, right enough. But you can't change what's happened. I've got that. I'm a bit shocked at myself at how calm I am. There must be an explosion coming somewhere.
Somebody's getting it.
But no, I would. I'd play the Shagger. I'd have Tab at right back. Obviously, Golston. Mm-hmm. I think now it's going to have to be. We're going to have to try this Davis. I think and that'll be the third different centre half he's played alongside Golston. What? Yeah. If that happens tomorrow, I'd try the Turkish boy. He would definitely go on at left back for me there. Now I would go. There's where you can start kicking me now. I would go Lawrence, Stephen Davis, and John Lunsford in the midfield, and I'm going to go up top. I'm going to play Arfield and Sachin on the other side, and obviously Kolak in the middle of him. That's how I would like to see it.
Arfield on the right of the forward line.
Well, playing off, I would switch. I wouldn't play that Montando. I don't. No, not sure about him. I'd have Arfield in for just what he can do, running. He can switch it around. But the three up top would be Arfield, Sachin, and Kolak, whatever his name is. That's how I would go. So there you go. You can give me my kick in there.
Right. Okay. Some people know me. I would never cast aspersions in yourself and Southside. Some people.
Wait for it.
Very good, very good.
Used to have lost the plot, but it's all about opinions, and I get your arguments. Yeah.
Well, my thinking is there at Sachin and Arfield. I know, even as bad as we were, you'll get some out of him, and he could go out for Arfield. And, we're 2-0 down. We're playing absolutely shocking. We need a goal, and that Sachin can't get on the field. He's not wanted there. That's blatantly obvious. And I don't get this subs from Tuesday night. I mean, that guy must be getting absolutely. I've got nothing against him. I think he's a good player. Yeah. Is he a great player? Nah. He's got to grow into it. But how the hell does he grow into it if he don't get games?
I think that's the point that Southside's been making about other people. Southside, and you come.
I said earlier, Andy, I'd have seen Tuesday night, when Borna got the ball. There was a big massive space up that left-hand side. Tillman was coming inside when he was probably meant to be staying out left. Sakala, he's no the world beater. He's no a finished article, but he's got heart, desire, endeavour, and he's proven that he nicks goals in games, and he's got some assists. I don't think he's got a look in, Andy. I agree with you. I think Gio doesn't fancy him for whatever reason. I thought he should probably have got a chance to come on Tuesday night, especially playing in Belgium before. He will be a pest. He's not going to go and run and beat two men and things like that, but he'll come inside, and when he gets that chance, Andy, he shoots for goal, and he scored goals for us. He got his that goal against them in the semi-final by being a pest, running into the box, and we got the goal. So he's not a finished article, but he's got pace to burn as well, and I just think he deserves maybe a wee. I just think, see if the players we're bringing in, Andy isn't performing, and look at them on Tuesday night, then none of them should be thinking they should be getting a regular game. So if I'm a wee bit out the comfort zone with saying Sakala, because a lot of people will be saying he's no chance. Well, he probably hasn't, but maybe Gio should start thinking about players, because there might come a time when he has to maybe bring one or two back in that he's really kept out in the cold, and then he's looking for them to tear him a performance. When I think the wee man gave him a chance on Saturday down the left with Kent maybe not being available, wouldn't be a bad option.
Yeah, well, that's my thinking as well. Like, I mean, I'm just looking at what they've served up so far. You know, you can never say it ever, but you know that Arfield and Sachin would have a hell of a lot of fight there on Tuesday, as bad as we were. I mean, I've never known a collective team, the old team, and all the time I've followed Rangers. I thought we were 3 or 4 off it. When we had bad players, when we went through a bad times as well. But that's Jesus. They need to look themselves in the mirror. Honestly, that you just can't accept that. They shouldn't be accepting themselves as professional football players. That's just a joke. I mean, I want them to come out tomorrow and really batter them, Kilmarnock. Will they? Hopefully. Can you see it? Not really.
We'll see. Right, we'll get a wee feature just for you, Andy. I think you might like this.
Go on.
Yeah? All right, just get yourself some mute. Here we go.
Hi, welcome to Southside Super 6 for Saturday, the 6th of August. My first selection is Newcastle to beat Nottingham Forest. My second selection will be Spurs to beat Southampton. My third selection is Peterborough United to beat Morecambe. My fourth selection is Partick Thistle to beat Hamilton. Airdrieonians to beat Falkirk is my fifth selection, and the sixth selection is Annan Athletic to beat Stenhousemuir. The odds come in roughly about 28-1. Also, my Rangers bet for Saturday is Cholak to score the first goal, Rangers to win 2-0.
That Fox is a bad man, isn't he?
Well, what I'd like to say is, given the fact that Southside never gets his teams right, I wouldn't go anywhere near them bets, to be honest with you.
Cheers for the confidence, Andy. There, Sands is playing tomorrow. Don't worry about it. Centre mid.
Oh, not for me. Ooh. But it's a good look. Are you doing that every week? I take it.
He is.
That's going to be interesting.
Sounds like that's just been put out there then, doesn't it?
Yeah, if you're having a kip night enough tonight, right, if you're not staying up and drinking all night, have a wee think about it, put another bun in the morning, will you?
It's all right, Andy. Ox is going to put a £5 on it every week, and apart from his stake money back, he'll give the rest to charity at the end of the season with the winnings.
I might be as well giving the money straight to charity, Andy. Would you think?
I would say I would. I'll tell you what. You watch here. He'll probably pull it off. You'll be coming on Monday night and going, "That guy knows his stuff."
Well, we're not. Who did you take for one? Spurs. He said a night out in Spurs. He said a few nights out in Partick. He said a night out.
I've been an Airdrie Sheriff.
I was thinking everywhere.
And a good night in Newcastle. We've done well.
I was waiting for a Blackpool home one there.
No, they were playing away this week. Didn't fancy it?
Aye, good. We'll see where that goes. Aye,
well done,
a wee five. We'll see what it takes, isn't it?
You're done in the one take. I know, Bridge, none of that.
Well
Port
done.
Stuff.
Seriously, that was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And well done, Foxy, as well.
I like the laugh. Yeah. Oh, dear. We might have to play that before the end again. What do you think, Andy?
Oh, definitely. I wonder if Davey will have a box of Maltesers on it.
Oh, Davey. We'll not see Davey after Christmas. He's that embarrassed.
Yeah, if he puts that on tomorrow, Andy, it might be celebrations he's on.
Brilliant. You got to love him, haven't you? Fantastic.
Oh dear, I'm still laughing at a laughing policeman. That Fox is a cruel man.
That's terrible behaviour, Fox.
Aye. Oh well, aye. Hard to pick him out when there's no forum. Fair play, having a go, mate. Fair play. What do you think, Reg?
I was delighted. I thought Southside did very, very well, and Fox's timing was impeccable, and his choice of laughing policeman session, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And I did it. Don't take it personal, Southside. I don't think he meant anything by it.
Oh dear.
I'll tell you what, I've never laughed and I've been getting huckled by the police anyway, that's for sure.
But it must be worth £1,000 of one of your pensions, mate, eh? Oh, no comment. No comment, money.
Oh, look, silence. So make you check your flare boards.
Serious stuff, that. Serious flare boards. Make sure there's nobody nicked it,
Oh dear. Oh, well done, Southside. I hope it starts. We're trying to get a phone callers up there before they then complaining and they put their money on this. And remember, gamble responsibly.
Hello, Oxdale. Is this a wind-up? Do you recommend them? I love
He's
it.
not saying they're going to win. He's saying he thinks they're going to win. He's not saying that James Stans will start tomorrow. He thinks he's given a chance.
Correct.
I thought it was excellent, by the way. Whatever anyone says.
Oh dear. Newcastle.
Aye.
Okay, fair enough. Right. We'll see where that takes us from the start.
Hell, they're at home, aren't they?
Aye. Get the first goal. One of them get the first goal and cash out.
Nobody's got much for them, have they? Do you know what I mean? So you're just taking a punt, aren't you?
Aye.
Wee bit of fun.
A bit of fun. That's all it says. We're saying, remember, gamble responsibly, unlike Andy.
I just throw mum in there away right enough. It'll come good. They usually break even across the season right enough, you know. But as long as we start winning and all that, you know what I mean? You know, as early does. That's always a crazy 10 games, but obviously the European game is not a league game, is it? So, you know, we've got to just make sure that we go and get the points tomorrow and get it well. I think we will. Surely they've got to be embarrassed by that. They're going to want to put that right, surely, as a professional player, I would think. You know, so if we go out there and get a good result, it sets us up for Tuesday, doesn't it? But it's all about tomorrow, isn't it, really, first? Make sure we get this result.
Right, lads, get yourselves on mute, because we're going to have a tune.
As I was walking down the Coleman Road, I met a bunch of strangers. They said to me, are you going to see the famous Glasgow Rangers? So I took them up to Ibrox Park,
don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Well, thanks for that, Fox. An all-time classic, that number, Andy?
It certainly is. I've got that version. I've got the original version. I like that one. That was my old dad's favourite. Like, he used to play that a lot of time. They're all great songs, aren't they, really? Might get the odd one right enough, but they're all great songs. Great amount we have, don't we? There are plenty of them, which is, like you say, clubs down here, Leeds, I think they've only got 2, and they're still playing it now.
I think I've been joined by the Malteser kid.
It'd be nice if you start talking to me, aye? Well, by the way, I was at the opticians today. No, get a grip. Come on, get a grip. You took a piss last night. I was at the opticians today. I enjoyed it, by the way. Brilliant. Tears were running down my cheek. And I liked a bit about the nurse coming in to take me out to go to bed and all that crap. But anyway, I was at the opticians today and they told me I'm colourblind.
We know that. We could have told you that last night.
No, you missed the point. You asked me the 3 best goals Rangers goals I had seen, correct? Live?
I never asked you. I asked everybody.
Well, you asked everybody, right? Okay, right. Cut the chase. Yeah, my answer was, when I came up with the Rangers Hibs, I actually didn't start with that. I said Rangers Aberdeen Scottish Cup final. McCoy scored, correct? But I get mixed up, slightly mixed up. It wasn't McCoy's, it was Hateley. But Rangers were playing at Parkhead that year, 1993. We won the Scottish Cup at Parkhead.
We did.
Who scored the goals? Come on, boys. Who scored the goals?
Neil Murray and Mark Hateley scored.
Spot on. So I got half it right.
I'm confused what half you get right. Southside.
I was confused what one done the overhead kick. Easy mistake, Dave. It's an easy mistake.
When you're 74, come on, guys, you've got to. She can't keep taking a mickey here. Anyway, let's get back to the format here. Regarding the match we're talking about, correct?
Yes.
I don't see how you can drop McLaughlin. If you drop McLaughlin, you're putting the blame on him for that debacle. That ball was bouncing about long before it got to McLaughlin. And McLaughlin saved us via tanking.
Okay,
so
good point.
You can't hang him out to dry.
You've redeemed yourself. And just out of curiosity, what colour was McLaughlin's strip on Tuesday night?
I think it was pink.
I would have went for the Reese myself, but there you go. Right, all right, Bridgeman, then you come. Oh, sorry, Southside, then you come.
Davey, how can you not drop McLaughlin?
Well, if you keep doing that, what about all the other dummies that were there?
Aye, some of them might get trapped. The Mora.
You can't play a European game and then change your goalkeeper.
Well, we did last season.
40 going on 41.
Davey, I'm only saying.
I know that, but we shouldn't need a goalkeeper tomorrow.
Well, we needed one Tuesday.
If you drop that man, what's that going to do for his confidence?
Well, as I'll say, I see last season, McLaughlin played a game and McGregor came in for the European game and McLaughlin went in for one and McGregor come back and then McGregor kept the number 1 jersey. I just think, but David, this is a massive game, right? We need a performance. I just think, in my opinion, I would play McGregor the Mora and I would also play him on Tuesday. And if that leads him to be number 1 going forward, then so be it. And until he makes a mistake, then and Gio thinks he's going to come out, or else he might stand by like you're saying. I'm only give my opinion and I respect what you're saying. I respect what you're saying, David. But for me, if you've got any aspirations, if he's got any consideration of playing McGregor on Tuesday, if he has, which you might know, then I think McGregor has to play the Mora. That's what I was saying.
Right. I'll answer you that one, right? I agree with you to a point. If you're going to play what you're saying you're going to play, who would you rather have? A goalkeeper that's going to be doing nothing, or 10 outfield players that should be getting their finger out?
I think we'll need a goalkeeper on Tuesday. We can't go the whole game without them getting a shot on goal.
I'm talking about Saturday.
Oh, Saturday? Well, aye. If he's not got any intentions of playing McGregor, then aye, McLaughlin will start tomorrow because he'll start on Tuesday. But I'm just saying, if it was me picking the team, I would have McGregor in the goals tomorrow and on Tuesday. That's what I'm saying. I'm not interested in what he done last season. I know he made a couple of mistakes and all that, but I'm just looking at that. If it was me, I would be changing my goalkeeper tomorrow and Tuesday.
Okay, just quickly, I think, Andy, you said you would start McGregor tomorrow, didn't you?
I did, aye.
What about yourself, Bridge?
I would go for McGregor tomorrow, for sure.
Okay, all right. Understand Davy's point. Good argument. We'll put it out. Anybody else got strong opinions on it? Or then you can even speak live to the Malteser kid. But what about the left back position? You Southside, you went for Ridvan, yeah, instead of Borna, yeah. What was your question?
Well, I think we've got to get the two guys. We've spent close to £8 or £9 million between them.
He's no two guy. He's Ridvan.
Aye, Ridvan, aye. But right, get you. You've got to start them. You've got to give them some game time. I don't know whether they'll play the full 90. I mean, you know what it's like. It's all down to sports science and all that these days and stuff, and what they look at, what their runs are and all that. But I would imagine that they should be able to play probably just about the whole 90 minutes, possibly. And I think the two of them are a certainty to start again on Tuesday. We've got to look to get them into the team. The left side's the problem, the defence. We've seen it since the start of the season. So we've bought Ben Davies for that position. So you'd like to think that hopefully now he's going to start his season, and the same way the boy Ridvan.
I'm not going to Andy because I know he'll pick Warner. David?
Yeah. It's a hard call there because I'll end up going back to the goalkeeper situation here. But no, I agree with Suicide. You know, I think he's got that one right. They need to play that boy Sands in the right position if they're going to play him. They can't do that. They're mucking him about.
All right, so you would start with Ridvan, yeah, and I take it you'd be
probably.
the same.
Probably.
Andy, would you be the same?
Yeah, he's got to come into the team. We paid a lot of money for him. We're led to believe he can defend, and I definitely think that we need a left back that can defend. So, I don't see the point. I mean, whatever I think of Bonner, he's short of confidence. I mean, the only real aggression issue was when he got ticked off. He would have shown a little bit of that on the field and might have been all right. He is definitely causing Kent or whoever plays in front of him, and I will say that, the problem on that left-hand side. He's so far off the pace. I don't know what he's thinking at times. I'm not going to dig him out because you know what I think about him. I think it would be better for a partner away for the club and him for his own sanity as well. He's not in the right heat space. If you're not there, that's not going to help himself and the team. So, yeah, we said it, didn't we? There ain't no way we're paying money for a left back to sit on the bench to watch Bonner serving that, in my opinion.
What's your thinking, Bridge? What would you go with?
I would go with the new guy. What was his name again?
Ridvan.
Ridvan, yeah. I would go with him based on what I've read. It's only going with what I've read. I saw a wee bit of him Tuesday night, but you can't judge MD on that. But it's still not too bad, I think, unfortunately, Andy's right. Borner's hasn't done himself any favours. Tuesday night's performance was very poor for him. And in fact, it was the same in Livingston. Particularly going back and doesn't know what position he's going to run to. And unfortunately, he leaves big gaps. And when he's indecisive, he leaves big gaps. And the teams can walk right through and right past him. And going forward, I must admit, I'm not saying Tuesday night, but in the past, going forward, Borna was absolutely superb. Bombing down, picking up. Him and Kent could work things together sometimes, and both of them could get crosses in. Particularly Borna, he got a lovely left foot for cross, but he did himself no favours on Tuesday night, and that may influence the manager to bring the younger lad back at straight in and Saturday, and put him straight on the pitch and see what he can do. That's what I think will happen.
Calls to this number are being screened by BT Call Guardian. Please say your name after.
Very good.
I'll be interested to see how it plans out. I think that Red Van will start tomorrow, and actually, there's part of me, Southside, is get sympathy with what Andy says. I think for Borna, I think it might be better if we part ways and he moves on and we get somebody else in. I think he's helped us move on as a team, but I don't think he can help us progress, if that makes any sense.
Borna seems to be a whipping boy, and sometimes he, like we criticise all players. I still think Borna, if he stays, will be used during the season. We've got no idea how this young boy will settle in or anything like that. He's, like I said before, he's left his own country for the first time he's coming to us. So he could get injured, suspended, anything. So I wouldn't be so to diss Borna and say that he'll not get game time. I think if he's still there when the window comes and it shuts and he's still there, then Borna will get game time this season. I believe he'll get games. And plus, you've got to take into factor the experience he's got. We've lost a lot of experience with the team as well. And we're trying to knit a defence together. And he's been suspect a few times, but no more so than other players. I think he's an easy whipping boy for a lot of people. But if he's still there, then I think Borna will be a valuable asset to the team. He's got to be Andy, because he's been there. He's had a few mistakes. He might not be the toughest, but he had nobody go up the left-hand side on Tuesday. There was nobody in front of him, you know. So I think he's an easy target sometimes.
I get what you're saying there, but he's not right in the heat there. I think the Phil game absolutely destroyed him, on top of some of the bad performances he had before that. In life you try to improve. If you keep making mistakes, or I keep making them, or you keep making them, and you'll be got rid of. Whether you think you're good or no good, you can't keep making them because it costs. And them mistakes, 9 times out of 10 that he makes them, it usually ends up in Rangers losing a goal. I'm just going on what I see. I've got nothing against the guy, but he's not good enough for Rangers. He's going back a ways. He's not getting any better. He's not putting in the crosses. He's not getting free kicks like he used to. He had the purple patch after St Mirren. I thought, all right, he scored against Blackpool. That might lift him up. He seems to be a confidence guy. But he's gone back a way since he scored. So you can get it, even if it stayed steady or average, but he's not doing that. He's going back a way. He's miles. I mean, that was him and Suter for the goal last Saturday as well. So the constant, you're like, all right, you might make a mistake 1 and 6. He's not. He's making them there. And they're getting more prominent, in my opinion, the way he plays. He gets the ball, he doesn't even run up the line to put it across, and he turns around and passes it back. You wouldn't think he was a left footer because he's always turning around and getting it away. I'll not run up the line. Well, what are you doing? Going up the left, you've got a left foot. You've got a good cross, swing it in. But what does he do? Stops, looks at something and gives the ball away to somebody else. Don't get that.
Actually, I'm in Andy's camp. I actually think that it might be beneficial for both parties. I think it actually might be beneficial for Borna if he went. I just think there's sometimes that players they get stale and
he might have peaked. We might have had the best out of him. Mm-hmm. You maybe saying we've had the best out of him.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll never know. I think we've been joined by William.
Hello.
How are you doing,
Hello, brothers. Happy new season.
How's things, mate? All right?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm a wee bit better than I felt on Tuesday, and Wednesday, because I watched the whole game again on Wednesday night. I was telling my son, I says, well, son, I'm a brave man. He says, how's that, Dad? I says, I watched the whole game again on Wednesday night. He says, no, Dad, you're a stupid man. You're not a brave man, you're a stupid man. Watching that again.
I think your son's right.
Aye, I think he is. Aye, I think he is. But it's just one of the things. There was a few things I wanted to see again. There was a few things I was wondering about, and what I will say is that I know it's been said they kind of sit in at times, but I think having looked at the game again, you get a fresh outlook on it. They sat back for about 80% of that game, sat back in their own half. Every one of their players in their own half for about 80% of that game. I mean, I know we were terrible. We had nothing up front. I mean, we didn't have a Ryan Kent. We didn't have an Aribo. We didn't have a Morelos, a Roof. Guys that will run at defenders, and they'll either set up a goal or they'll get you a goal. We didn't have any of that type of player. We just had nothing to run at their defenders. Nobody was making a run at their defenders. Which is we usually do against, because we get this every week in the SPL.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at the first goal. I know everybody's been hammering McLaughlin, but I've looked at it about 10 times. And that ball, when it comes off Golson, McLaughlin's slightly unsighted because of Golson. The ball deflects off Golson, and it spins and it swerves. It's spinning and it's swerving across. And McLaughlin, it was such a difficult ball to save. It really was. If you have a good look at it, I'm not happy with throwing McLaughlin under the bus for that goal. I'm just no. And he made some good saves. As the South Side said, he made some right good saves later in the game. And at the penalty incident, that farcical decision to give them a penalty, that was an absolute farce, ridiculous decision. When the ball came back off Golson, it fell to the wee man that scored the penalty. He cracked a shot in, and McLaughlin made a good save. And so they got the advantage. Not only when it came back, Golson, they got that shot, they got that advantage. McLaughlin saved it, and then 2 minutes later they're getting a penalty. So that adds insult to injury. I mean, there is insult to injury because Golson got a yellow card on top of that. But they got the free shot. They missed the shot because McLaughlin saved it, and then they got a penalty. Unbelievable.
Didn't think it was a penalty.
No, absolutely not a penalty.
Before we ask you about tomorrow's game, do you think we can turn it around on Tuesday after watching it back? You're a braver
Absolutely.
man.
Absolutely think we can. Absolutely think we can. I think the feeling I get watching that again, says that they absolutely mugged us. They absolutely mugged us. They sat back, came up and stole a goal, then they got a free goal. I mean, a wicked deflection, their first goal, then they got a penalty. It was never a penalty. Absolutely, I think we can turn that round. We can only play better. We offered nothing up front.
On midfield, mate, let's be honest, on midfield.
That's true. Aye, that's true. It was really, Ryan Jack has been injured for about 2 years. I mean, to throw him into that game, for me, it was a poor decision. Poor decision. I mean, we know what he's done for us in the past. We know that if he's fit, what he can do, it just does not look fit.
No, he didn't. Andy, can you come, mate? I know you the poster above Ryan. You're better, Ryan Jack.
Well, you know what I've been saying for about the last 4 or 5 months there. I think he's done now, to be honest with you. And I hope I'm wrong. We did say this last season when I mentioned it, but he doesn't look right now. I think everything that's happened to him, I don't think he can take a tackle now. I think he kind of knows it as well. Nothing I've read anywhere, but he must be saying to himself, look, it's not happening for me. Another bad tackle or another bad injury on that, and then, it could hamper his health going forward. I would be seriously thinking about this now. He didn't look fit there on Tuesday at all, and he made basic mistakes. Even the goal, trying to usher the guy out there, he would have never let that happen. So I think we have to look at that again. It breaks my heart right enough because you know what I thought fit Jack, we should be built with team around him, but it ain't going to happen now. I don't think. I think we're going to be lucky if we see him half a season again. Which that ain't going to do Rangers any good at all going forward. So he has to sit down with the management team and see where we're going with that one. I really think it's the same with Ruth. That's another one. We need to get these guys off the book now that constantly don't play. Big Elander at the back as well. Get them out the door, get them off their wages, and while the window's open, see if we can get another couple of players in. I would say this would be looking at that. And I'd like to see them all stay if they were fit, but they're not good to sat on the bench. It's not like they're out for 3 and 4 weeks. They're out for months on end. That's not happening, is it?
William, what would your team be tomorrow, based on what you've seen so far?
Well, I'm sticking with McLaughlin. I'm absolutely sticking with McLaughlin. I mean, we all love McGregor to bits. He's as good a keeper as we've ever had. Him and Andy Gorham. I'm sticking with McLaughlin. I'm going Tavernier. I'd say Golson, Davis, and Ridvan. In the middle, I want a solid midfield. I want Lundstrom, I want Arfield, and I think Lawrence. They three in the midfield. Solid, good tackling, hard, solid players. And up front, I might go with Sakala, Cholak, and Scott Wright. Sakala and Scott Wright, players that are going to run at the defenders. And Cholak, I think he can run the line pretty well, and we're looking for him to get us some goals. And I think he will get us some goals.
It just shows you Southside how quickly football changes. Matonda was after the West Ham game, a bit of manure.
Aye.
Got him starting.
Well, you can only judge by what you watch and what we've seen on Tuesday night, and they doubled up on them, and we've said Tav goes too far forward down the right. Couple of things I'll throw out there. Andy, Ryan Jack, last time he played 90 minutes for Glasgow Rangers, right? I love the guy to bits. I know he Joby does, but I agree with you. I said if he wasn't going to produce at the start, then I need to forget about him now until he's fully fit. Glenn Kamara, no doing enough going forward, and incidentally, Willie, he was the guy who put the ball through to Cholak when he whipped the ball across the box on Tuesday night. Glenn Kamara, which surprised me because he's never up there doing that. So midfield for me, when you said you want a strong midfield, I would put James Sands in there and give him a chance in centre mid with Lundstrom, and the hope that one of them can step forward, physical, hard, tackling, run about, energy.
You know what put me off Sands for Tuesday? The number of times the ball came for Golson to Sands, he looked at Barisic, and then he just turned around and gave it back to Golson.
Aye,
he kept refusing to pass the ball.
See, most of the time, Wally, see if you look at a right-sided player, when they go to pass the ball to the left full-back, the Shrees are usually played in behind them. It's never really played in front of him until Hillander came into the team. Left-footed, play the ball in front of Borna when he was going forward, because it's natural, or they can pick the ball up and knock it down the line, whereas Sands can't do that. You've got to cut inside. Suter had the same problem. Katic, when he played, any right-sided player playing on the left's got that problem. I think Sands just needs a chance.
Barisic had so much room, so much space, and he still wouldn't pass it to him.
I just think Sands probably deserves a chance to try and take a place in the team. The centre of the park, Jack's no doing it, Kamara's no really doing it, and Stephen Davis, when was the last time he came in and played a game of football? And I know you had him in your team, Andy, but no for me. I think Sands goes in there and tries to see if he can do it.
Were you asking when was the last time Ryan Jack played 90 minutes? Are you going to tell us when?
No, I wouldn't. I don't know. It's a long time.
Right.
But I mean, he's no doing it, and it's experience, and it's frustrating. But you've got to start putting players in their positions, and if it means Yilmaz goes in at left back, and we've got Ben Davis at centre back, and makes the other two is normal, and then we've got to find that other central midfielder. Or if I agree, you can put Lawrence and Tillman in there, and Kent, I think, fit on Tuesday would have to start. But I want Sakala to play the more. I don't know if he's heard earlier. I think the wee man deserves a chance and all.
Does anybody want to hear Fox's 11? Does anybody want to hear Fox's 11? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Foxes went from McGregor, Tav. He's got a big star next to Tav's name with crayon. McGregor, Tav, Golson, Davis, Yilmaz, Lundstrom sitting, Tilleman and Lawrence, Matondo on the right, Sakala on the left, and Cholak starting with Morelos coming on for him the last half an hour. That's what he's wrote.
That's a good team.
David?
Fox.
Yes,
Did you notice on Tuesday night at their first goal, did you notice where Matondo was, what he was doing?
I've not watched it back, Dave. I've not been as brave as Willie. I've not been as brave as you.
Aye.
Tell me.
He stands at the end of the edge of the area, and the guy that runs in and scores just runs past him. And he's a couple of yards to his left, but he just stands there and does nothing. The guy comes running in, he just stands and does nothing. Same as Sands was standing doing nothing, and the ball was cut back.
Sands got attracted to the ball, didn't he?
Aye, he did. And him and Matando
he looked at the ball and
watching.
didn't look behind him.
Aye. It was like Matando was standing there saying, well, I'm not a defender, I don't defend. I'll just stand here and watch and see what happens. You know? I'm going, oh my God. I couldn't believe the space the guy got at the first goal. Jesus.
Aye, the edge of the box. Too many defenders. There was too many defenders on the park.
Aye, that's what I'm saying. McLaughlin was a bit unsighted because Golson was slightly blocking his view. And then the deflection, you know, it really was a tough one for him to save. The way he was spinning and swerving, you know. And,
fair comment.
And his view being blocked.
Fair comment. Bridgeman, the left side of the defence, mate, we've invested about £10 million. Shoot, in theory, improve it.
Yeah, you mentioned the boy Ben Davies, the young Turkish boy that's coming in, left back. I'm sure that the manager would be desperate to get them settled in, get them a game. I think tomorrow's game would be ideal. Then to come out and show what they can do, providing they're fit, match fit that is. So the manager's got we have to do something with the left side. It's not working. It's not working out for us. I did honestly said last season that we could maybe keep the big centre half we had. I can't remember his name now for the life of me. Big Balogun. Yeah, he could have done a trick here, even although he was a bit of a liberty on his left foot as well. But we need people with left-footed and that kind of guile that they've got as well on that left side. That's what we need. And I hope they two guys can play it. And I've had nothing but rave reviews about this boy Ben Davies. I don't know him. I haven't actually ever seen him play, but I'm looking forward to it tomorrow.
It'll be interesting with us. And listen, you don't. I'll go to old Davey with us and then Andy. You can't judge somebody till you've seen them over about a dozen games. You get your initial thoughts, but you've got to be fair, yeah?
Oh, yeah, I totally agree. And regarding the teams, and by the way, good evening, William. I would, your team, I'd definitely pick that, and Fox's. Either of these choices, I would go with. And regarding, I just feel we're all hitting panic buttons here, there, and everywhere. We don't need it. The biggest disappointment for me on Tuesday, apart from the way we set up and everything, was the effort that we put in. That just was not acceptable. Mm-hmm. We were poor. Even whether they sat in or no, we just couldn't do nothing right. And the effort they put in was shocking. That's going to change tomorrow.
I don't think anybody's disagreeing with you, David. Andy?
No, I think you're right. I mean, common sense and all that. You really shouldn't be judging after 2 or 3 games. I'm very guilty of that. I look at them and I don't think they're playing well. I make an opinion straight away. Probably Rangley Lumsden there, wouldn't I? But it's just that you want to see them do well, don't you? And you want to see them getting in, and you can't. On Tuesday night, that gives you the fear because you think if we're going to get 3 or 4 of them performances or something like that, you go to the Pedo Dome or Petrodri, we're going to have hard nights there. Never mind getting into the Champions League. And that's. I just go for what I say. I want them all to do well. It breaks my heart because I think they should give as much as we give to the team. But modern day footballers and a lot of them don't care now. But no, you're right. You shouldn't really judge. And as I say, I'm old man. As long as you know me, I'm guilty of that. I'll look at it again and I'll go no.
You have your initial thoughts, and then you've got to. Sometimes you change your mind. Come on, let's be honest.
I'm a bit like you. I've only been wrong once, and it's only the Scouse boy that's proved me right.
It's only hindsight. We're all, and we all get things wrong, and there's some players you like, some players you don't. But Calvin Bassey, this time last year,
Yeah, but a lot of us did say Oxford. I know I did. I said that he would go on to be an absolutely fantastic player. I didn't think he'd be out the door that quick because I don't think we expected the turnaround. You go to that European night, he looked like he couldn't. Would have put him at centre half. he looked at it, a fish out of water, didn't he? And then he went on to the, absolute cracking final. Played really well. He had he made a couple of mistakes, but he'd get up there and he'd go back, and there was none of that stopping. Right, I've lost the ball, I'll go back and retrieve it. So, I hope everything goes well. He'll end up in the top 4 in the Premier League eventually. I'm convinced of that. Rebo, Shugs thinks we're definitely missing him. Although me and Shugs did banter about it.
I like Joe Rebo. Some people didn't.
He was inconsistent when he come back from the half-time.
Andy, take a breather, mate. Just take a breathalyzer. Take a breathalyzer. We'll be joined by Blue Star, an evening Blue Star.
Evening, Ox, Bridge, and rest of the panel, guys. Ox, just on what you are saying for the morning Tuesdays. For me, the wee Andy and the guy William that was on there. For me, look, we all love McGregor. He's been a brilliant servant and one of the best shot stoppers we've ever had. But for me, the Mora, you stick with McLaughlin, and I'll give him a reason. Simply because we lost an absolute rake of goals last season that were coming for crossbars. Not directly as in headers, but coming crosses into our box. Were big goals, and I'm sorry. For me, he's a bomb scare in the air. I've never liked him in the air. I think he's stunning ball watches. I think he's terrible for ball watching. I agree with Bridgeman. Bridgeman's always says we needed a commanding centre half. We still don't have one. So for that reason alone, Big McLaughlin comes out and clutches that ball out the air. Something McGregor has never done in his life. Yes, he's a great shot stopper. But for me, we'll have most of the ball tomorrow, and we'll certainly have most of the ball on Tuesday. So for me, if there's any crossbars comes in alone, Big McLaughlin comes in and saves Goldson's butt all the time. So for me, I would keep McLaughlin. Obviously, Tav, Goldson, I think he's got to start Ox simply because the left-hand side's a problem. I still think I agree with Southside on Barisic. I wouldn't sell him unless there was a good offer come in for the guy and you bring in a real good replacement. I think he will certainly start with the Yasman guy and Davis.
Carry on.
We've lost him.
We lost him.
Next
all right, okay.
You've got to pay that phone bill.
Aye. Well, everything's getting expensive, mate. Get old David to pay it.
Hey, come on, don't you start on me tonight again.
All because the lady loves Maltesers.
Correct. Go to the top of the class.
You should see what that man can do with a straw and a box of Maltesers. It's just unbelievable.
Oh, yeah, brilliant. I love it.
Right. Southside, obviously you went with McGregor, and I don't think you did say that. What you said, if you're going to start him on Tuesday, you have to play him tomorrow. That was the point you made, wasn't it?
Aye, that was the point I made. And I said, in my opinion, I would change the goalkeeper. I respect Blue Star for what he's saying and for the people that have picked have picked John McLaughlin. But last season's last season, and this is about this season. And he made a few mistakes last season, which you wouldn't normally expect him to make. For me, as I said, if Gio was considering playing him on Tuesday, then for me, you've got to play him tomorrow. That's just the way I see it. He's got to get a game before he played on Tuesday night if Gio was considering him.
Yeah, I agree with
her. Are you back with us, Blue Star?
Aye, Ox, had a power cut. It's still off. I was saying about McLaughlin. For me, he pulls Goldson out of holes time and time again. Insofar as the big man for me is a stalwart, but he's no good in the air. I think he's a bomb scare in the air. And for that reason and that reason alone, I think Big McLaughlin comes out for crossbars, something that McGregor just can't do. He stands in his goal line. Great shot stopper, absolutely no doubt about it. One of the best ever. But for me, when we've got all the ball possession, the only chance that 9 times out of 10 most opposing teams, especially at Ibrox, Ox, We've got most possession in most games. So if there's any goals that are coming in, they're coming for crossbars. And if Big McLaughlin would come out and pull it out the air all the time.
So you were getting your team when you unfortunately get cut off, and we got.
I was, mate. Right, not normal. Cav, Goldson. I would start with the boy Davis, and I would start with the wee Turk. You've got to see what he can do, and especially playing at Ibrox. Midfield for me is the enigma, Ox. Honestly, it is. I want to see my team playing with power and precision and dominating the centre of the park. And I maintain we've got forwards like Sakala, Kolach, wee Alfie when he comes back. For me, the most important part of our team now, especially at Ibrox, when we do hang on to the ball, it's that midfield. I want to see somebody in there. See Lundstrom the last couple of games, Ox. For me, he's getting ruined. I prefer to see Lundstrom on the ball and getting forward and having a crack at goal when he gets the opportunity. The last two games, he's playing him too far back.
I think Lundstrom's been playing that deep for us. He might start in goal tomorrow.
That's what I'm saying, Ox. He's ruining him. That's no Lundstrom's game. Lundstrom was a revelation the second half of last season at Langley Bassey because the guy was getting the ball and dictating the game. The last two games where managers had him sitting, as you say, basically the flipping back four. He's ruined there.
It's all right you go in there at certain situations of the game, but no start there. He's a midfielder. And
Correct, mate. Correct, definitely. And I think you can. I think you can play. Gosh, you'll not believe I'm going to say it. You can play guys like Arfield. You've got a rake of guys in midfield. Kamara certainly for me has went a bit hard for him. Far too defensive. He's getting the ball and he's automatically passing it backwards. I want to see balls getting pushed through at the forward line. And that means getting guys that's going to go forwards with the ball. That's it, guys. I want to see us dominating games. That's my style of football.
Who's your two wide men?
Well, it would need to be. It would either be Matondo or Sakala. Because obviously I don't think he's going to play Kent, is he? Or is he going to bring him in for a bit of the game on Tuesday? I'm not too sure, mate. Certainly Lawrence. You've got to play Lawrence.
All right. What about Tillman? Does anybody think that Tillman's going to have a role tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah, who was that? Davey?
Yeah, definitely. The guy's class. Well, you can't stop and start with him and all. You can't do that. That boy has got it. And to come into that level where he was, we can't stop chopping and changing everyone. And I'm more worried about how we're going to. I'm not worried about the setup. I want a 90. Leave Everton out in that park tomorrow, whoever the team is. And that didn't happen on Tuesday. That was the biggest disappointment on Tuesday for me. It was so lackluster. I was gutted, but that's life. We get on there.
Okay, well, just to let you know, we've had technical issues with our lobby in the Rangers Radio site, and hopefully we'll be fixed over the weekend and it'll all go live. Hopefully we'll relaunch on Monday evening. Right, okay. William, when you come, I heard you there.
I was just saying that absolutely we want to see effort. We want to see them running. We want to see them play for the jersey. We want to see them effort because we haven't seen much effort. No, really, the effort we saw towards the end of last season, it was incredible.
Okay.
We've really got to play for that jersey. That crowd, I hope the crowd they come out there tomorrow and, I hope that the players hear what they want. You know what I mean?
Aye.
Maximum effort, nothing less. And none of this standing about saying, oh, well, I don't defend, I play up front, so I don't defend. Instead of looking around about and see what you could do to help,
I've got a feeling you've took a dislike to Matondo.
No, I don't like to see players standing about doing nothing and letting a player run past them and stick the ball in the net.
Right. All right. Aye, everybody's got to play their part in a team, south side, don't they?
Absolutely.
Correct. You don't want a player out there just cheating you. No, go out and give his effort, a bit of heart and desire. You're playing for the Glasgow Rangers. You were playing in a qualifier for the Champions League. No, all kidding aside, and the wee man wasn't at the races on Tuesday night along with many others. And when you're saying don't rip up a team or this or that, we haven't really got a settled team yet. And if you agree that Kamara, Jack and Lundstrom don't play the Mora, then you're going to have to change the midfield a bit. And you can have Lawrence and Tillman in the same team. You can. But I said, like I said earlier, I'd have tried Sands, give him a chance in midfield. I'd play Scott Wright on the right-hand side. He knows the system. He knows he can work with Tav. He knows he's been there long enough. And you're looking for him to try and have a good performance tomorrow. And if he does, he puts himself possibly in the team for the Tuesday. I still think Matondo will come on. I think you can bring him off if he started. I think there'll be a few like that. Centre-backs are a wee bit harder to change during the game, obviously. But maybe late in the game, if Yilmaz has played 75 minutes and we're coasting it, you can take him off, Borna comes on. So there's different things, but we need to just try and get a performance, but definitely the 3 points. And I think Boy started just before, sorry I'm ranting. See the goals we lost on Tuesday night? We never lost any for crossbars or anything like that, so I don't see how they'll give high balls or anything like that on Tuesday night. They sat in and tried to hit us in the break with pace, and that's what they done. And then obviously if they're running through in goal like McLaughlin did, he stood up and saved a few. But I think it was more about having a shot stopper and a penalty saver on Tuesday night rather than somebody that can come out and cross a ball the way the game went.
And you come with that.
Granted, I take that on board. What I'm saying is, at Ibrox, most of the time, no matter who we are playing, we have 99% of ball possession. I just think, depending on how the game goes tomorrow, Kelly will more or less start the same as what they usually do. They'll have most 11 players behind the ball and they'll try and hit us in the break, which is a good profile for what's coming ahead on Tuesday, because there's no way that team, I can't see in a million years they're going to come out and attack us on Tuesday. It's not going to happen. They're going to sit back. So going with the Kelly game tomorrow, they do exactly that every single time we play them. So
yeah.
I think it's a great apport thanks for what's coming on Tuesday, and I think he will be able to try out a couple of things tomorrow. But at all costs, granted, guys, we all want the same thing. We want to see our team winning. We want to see them winning with a wee bit of kind of style, especially if you're up against teams that are all sitting back. Do you know what I mean? I want to see us starting to dominate, starting to show what we're capable of doing.
Listen, we'll react. We're only at half time in this time, and we'll see where it goes. But just concentrate on the Mora. But it'll be interesting to see what the team selection is. There's a question. Bridgeman, has Giovanni got himself into a wee bit of a muddle here?
I think Giovanni looked as if he was starting to panic a wee bit Tuesday night, and hopefully he smoothed things over for himself. But did I hear you saying the night there was no press conference for tomorrow's game? Was that right?
There was just an interview, mate, that he'd done and replied it yet.
Okay. I heard the interview, but I was meaning we never had a press conference.
No, that you're aware.
Why not? Not that we're involved. That's fair enough. No problem. But I think that Giovanni, I think he struggled the other night, and it was the way the players played that made him like that. So that'll be interesting to see what happens at the weekend. Very proud.
It'll be interesting. William, has he got himself in a bit of a muddle?
I think he has. I think he got it completely wrong on Tuesday. And now he's looking at he's paid all that money for these players that he brought in, and I think they let him down on Tuesday. Some of them let him down on Tuesday quite badly. We brought in some skillful players, Tillman, Matondo, and they just never produced it on Tuesday. They showed nothing. You're looking for these kind of players to get the ball and run at the defenders, and there was just nothing of that. I don't know if their keeper even made a save.
One for Sands. Anyway, I'll cut across you. We've been joined by Mark. Evening, Mark.
Alright, Oxford, how we doing, lads? Alright?
Good to hear from you, mate. What's on your mind?
Yeah. Probably a bit off topic for the game tomorrow. I'm just the summer signings and that. I'm just thinking about the squad. Are we going to win the league or no? So I'm happy with everything apart from our number 9s. A Rangers number 9 should be able to score 25 league goals a season. Morelos can't do it. Roof, injury prone. Kolak will be decent. Will he get 25? Probably no, because we bit down to game time and whatever. So he might get 15, hopefully more, but we should be better in that position. Everything else I'm happy with.
All right, okay. Southside.
I was going to say Alfie had to score 25 goals, Mark, but I know what you're saying. I think Kolak, once the team settled down and he can pick a team. We've got attacking players there. I mean, we've seen it. Matondo down the right, Kent down the left. You've got Tillman, you've got Lawrence. So you've got players there that can certainly play, but it's just about gelling them and trying to just set a set team out. They're still early doors and you're still in pre-season. We've no managed to play the same 11, even try to settle it down. Somebody's been injured, somebody's been missing, Kent out again. So I think we'll win the league, mate. I think we've plenty to turn this team on Tuesday night. I think they'll sit and hit us in the break, but I don't fear that we can't turn it. So I think that I win tomorrow, mate, and I win on Tuesday night, and we just keep the momentum going.
See your point about the 25 goals, Mark. I mean, you're right. We haven't had a striker like that for a long time. You need what we need to do is we need to make more chances, and that's one of the things that I would sometimes has been a criticism of our team, that even when we've had a lot of possession, we've not worked the opposition goalies enough. We've not put enough crosses in. We put enough crosses in against Livingston. We still in nothing.
Well, did we not
supplying the centre forward?
Oh, I've watched Morelos play for Rangers for 5 years now. I think he scored 2 Old Firm goals. Out of 16 trophies, he's won 2. His best record is 18. Last year it was 13 in the league I'm talking about. We all know he's not the greatest finisher, but we all still love him because he drags defenders about and all this. But that's not what I want to love a Rangers number 9 for. I need a Rangers number 9 to put the ball in the net, right? That's all.
I think Cholak looks more likely to do that, and Alfie does. But I'll take this to, I'll say Blue Star. Who would you rather face, Alfie or Cholak?
Ox, I'm glad you just said that, and you spoke your mind there, and I'm glad you said it. Absolutely no doubt about it. MD that knows anything about football, there's no doubt about it. You give that big guy and Alfie the same chances. Kolak will score more than Alfie will, but Alfie brings in more players round about him. Yes, and I'm agreeing with the caller, what the caller's saying, but none of us can disagree with him. Alfie's goal scoring in the last few seasons has been really, really poor for the amount of games that he's played. Granted, last season he was injured, we know that. But his actual goal scoring is really pretty poor. Certainly in Europe, he scored his goals. He did. There's no getting away from that. But if you're talking about your number 9 for goals, no, Alfie's not the answer. What Alfie is, he was bringing in and he was fitting into our system, playing with the likes of Kent and that. And you've got to look at that as well. Kent's goal scoring is absolutely abysmal for the games that he's played. Abysmal. So we need goals throughout the team. It's not just for number 9. If you get that big guy chances in the box, there's no doubt about it, Ox. You can see his movement. His movement's first class. But they've got to give him the proper boys. But agreeing with yourself and the caller, Alfie's a great playmaker. He is. The wee guy's got more than just goals in his team. Of course he has. Could it be in some games at Ibrox you play the two of them together? You've got to find a way. Our manager's got to. You play Alfie next to that big Kolak, and I'm telling you, they'll get goals. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Would you entertain that, Mark? Having the two of them up front?
I agreed with what was being saying there. Apart from there was one bit about Morelos. What I'm trying to get across is that Morelos, for me, has got one job, like Alan McCoist. Get that ball, and you're the man that puts it in. We'll do everything else. Right? Kent, Tillman, Lawrence, we'll do everything. We'll do everything else. Your only job, Alan McCoist, Alfie, you just score goals. That's all we need you for. That's all we need Alfie for. We don't need Alfie to drag do the number 10 job, do the number 7 job. We need Alfie to do the number 9 job.
It's a fair comment, mate. It's a fair comment, but I think Alfie's a top player. But I mean, I get you. You can't say that he scored. He's a prolific goal scorer. Bridgman.
Right, in my opinion, and I'm not being funny when I say I've been saying it for a long time now, Morelos on his game is the best player we've got. Absolutely 100%. He's a fabulous player, got a lot of skill, and all we need now is him to put the ball in the net. He can add what he wants to his game, but please start scoring again, because he's a man. He frightens the life out of defenders. He drags them all over the place. He makes space for everyone else. He's even going to the wing, picking the ball up and starting making passes and so on. That we don't want. We don't want to see a player stuck out in the world, centre forwards anyway. So we need him in. I still think he's a good, really skillful footballer, and I know it's for a goal. Get him back, get him in, and get him playing again, and he'll score goals.
But your point, Mark, your point about as a forward, you're judged about goals. If you took Ruth, and we can't really judge Cole, if you took Ruth and Morelos, without a doubt, Ruth's a better finisher than Morelos. Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Is he a better centre forward than Morelos?
Well, it's a different question.
Aye.
Well, I would tend to go with that, because apart from I don't like the thought of him with the gas game at the Piggery with Ruth up front, just a disaster. But that's a bit of a hard one with Ruth's age, and that's not the fastest anymore. But I've never liked Alfie's finishing. In Europe, he does brilliant for his. Kent's my favourite player. I love his creativity. And
He's a worse finisher than Alfie.
I know I'm going to go on the stick now for saying that. I only scored whatever goals, but it's what it is, isn't it?
Aye. Great point, mate. Great point.
Folks, can I just come in a minute?
On you go, Dave. Is it 3 Maltesers?
Aye, no, I know where the boys coming through, but I think all those older ones, no, I'm not usually as old as me, but I think the biggest problem we have in Scottish football is the way they all play. The days of getting all these goals, Scottish football doesn't allow you to do that anymore.
No, it's
Before
not.
You had teams that used to open up a wee bit. It doesn't happen now, so the goals are harder to come by. You've got to look at it that way. It's, the teams, they just shut shop up. The whistle goes, they go back, we go forward. That's home and away.
Good point, mate. Good point. They're actually killing again, but there you go. Well, gentlemen, and Bridgeman, we've reached that time of the evening. Mark, thanks for the call, mate.
Right, cheers, lads. Thank you.
Always good to hear from you. Old Davey, you're a top man.
Pleasure.
Blue Star, good to hear from you, mate.
Pleasure, mate.
Willie, enjoyed your call, mate. Good points.
Cheers, thanks, Oldfield. Pleasure's all mine. Love the show. Absolutely love it.
Very much. Have I missed anybody? I don't think I have, have I? What about you, Southside?
Aye, mate. Thoroughly enjoyed it tonight. Obviously, with yourself and the Bridgeman. Good chat, mate. Good debate. So onwards and upwards to tomorrow. 3 points for the Rangers and Kolach. 2-0. Kolach to score first, mate. Hopefully he'll get off the mark tomorrow. We'll create the chances. I agree with the callers were saying as well, mate. But he's got good movement in the box, and it's just all about taking your chances. So hopefully he'll get us off to a flying start tomorrow. So thanks very much for this evening.
Cheers, mate. Bridge, over to you.
Oh, what can I say? A fantastic night. Well done to your team. you and your team there, and great to sit Southside and co-commentate on this fantastic panel we had tonight. Can I just say that all the guys did well? It was brilliant. I really enjoyed it, and it was really funny at times as well. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, in particular Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, tomorrow, biggest game of the season, tomorrow, must win, 3 points, everybody, the Bridgeman's over there tomorrow, getting to Ibrox first time for a wee while, and I'll be looking forward to this, see how our team plays, and I agree with Southside, big Koyak, whatever his name is, to give us a goal tomorrow. Win it. Everybody keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers need us. Keep it going.
I forgot for one of my favourite callers to give a shout out, Andy for Leeds. Sorry, Andy. Speak to you soon, mate. Thanks to Andy for Leeds. Thanks to William. Thanks to Mark who joined us, Blue Star, All Davy, everybody that joins us here on the call, and of course, Bridgeman and Bridgeman and Southside for taking part in the show, and Fox for doing the technicals. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow with a pre-match show at 2 o'clock. We'll be joined by Port Bear. Thanks for listening. Stay safe. Come on, the Rangers. Take it away, Foxy boy.
Ulster man.